$22,800. That's the asking price for a 6-bedroom house in Sardinia, with a garden, a fireplace, and 2 kitchens. It also needs real renovation before anyone could move in. And that's exactly the kind of detail we're not going to skip over today. Over the next few minutes, we're walking through 5 properties across Sardinia, all priced between $18,000 and $28,500. A river village home with room for a large family. A coastal townhouse with courtyards on both sides. A share of vineyard land with restoration paperwork already approved. An island property where the real asset is the ground beneath your feet, not the small structure sitting on it. And a village near Sassari that once tried giving houses away for €1, home to what might be the most demanding renovation on this entire list, and possibly one of the most rewarding. And beyond the numbers, here's a question worth sitting with for a moment. Have you noticed that what you actually want these days isn't something glamorous? It's just somewhere that feels lighter to live in? Not a place you visit for a week and leave behind, but somewhere the cost of living doesn't quietly climb every single year, somewhere you're not constantly recalculating just to stay in place. That feeling is exactly why we keep coming back to villages like these. We're not agents, and we don't take a commission on anything we show you. What you'll see today are real listings with real documentation you can trace back yourself at real asking prices, not numbers rounded up for a better headline. Some of these homes need serious work. We're not going to pretend otherwise, because that honesty is really the only thing worth offering you. If you find videos like this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. That support genuinely helps us keep going and keeps us bringing you more honest journeys like this one. And now, let's begin today's journey. Villanova Tulo sits inland in the south of Sardinia, in a stretch of the island most visitors never see. Life here follows the rhythm of the Flumendosa River and the lake it feeds, rather than the tourist season down on the coast. Mornings are quiet, the kind where you notice birdsong before traffic, mostly because there isn't any. People tend gardens, gather near the small square by the church, and measure the day by light rather than by a clock. It's the kind of place where nature still sets the pace, not convenience. And in the middle of that quiet, there's a house for sale for $22,800. For that number, you're getting a house with real size to it. 195 square meters spread across 2 floors, 6 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, a garden, a balcony, a fireplace, and a cellar for storage. That's more space than most buyers expect to find at any price, let alone this one. Built in 1960, the house is being sold in need of renovation. So what you're really buying is the bones of a large family home, not a finished product. Still, at roughly $117 per square meter, this sits far below the average asking price in Villanova Tulo, where similar homes list closer to $500 per square meter. That gap is worth sitting with for a moment. Daily life would be easy to manage here. A small supermarket, a pharmacy, and the village schools are all within a 5-minute walk, so the essentials aren't a project of their own. For anything more, the hospital in Isili is about 25 minutes by car. And just outside the village, the Flumendosa Lake and River open up space for walking, fishing, or simply sitting somewhere quiet, with the neuralgic ruins at Adoni not far beyond that, if history happens to be your interest too. Of course, a house at this price, built in 1960, comes with real questions. The electrical system almost certainly needs updating. The roof deserves a proper inspection, and there's a small inconsistency in the listing about how many floors the house actually has, the kind of detail that only gets resolved by walking through the door yourself. None of that erases the appeal of 6 bedrooms and a garden for this little. But it does raise a fair question. At this price, how much renovation would you actually be comfortable taking on yourself? From the quiet of a river valley, the landscape changes completely. What comes next? sits closer to the wild, dune-covered western coast of Sardinia, in a town shaped as much by old mining history as by the sea. Arbus is a working town rather than a postcard one, and that's part of what makes it interesting. It sits inland from Sardinia's western coast, in an area still shaped by the old mining industry that once ran through these hills. People here go about ordinary days, shopping, walking to the pharmacy, stopping for a coffee, while just a short drive away, the coastline turns almost dramatic with dunes and cliffs that feel far removed from any town center. It's a place with two very different sides, and the house we're looking at belongs to the quieter one. This one is listed at $28,500. What you get is a terraced house of 153 square meters, with 2 bedrooms, a bathroom plus a separate toilet, a front courtyard and a rear courtyard, a terrace, a cellar, and a storage room. Courtyards on both sides of a house are not something you find often at this price point, and they're worth picturing for a moment. Morning coffee outside, laundry drying in the sun, a private outdoor space that doesn't depend on anyone else. The house does need renovation, so again, this is a starting point rather than a finished home. But at around $186 per square meter, against a town average closer to $1,700, the difference is hard to ignore. Life around it is manageable without a car for the basics, a supermarket about 10 minutes on foot, a pharmacy even closer. For bigger needs, the hospital in San Gavino, Monreale, is roughly 25 minutes away. And then there's the Costa Verde, about 25 minutes by car, one of Sardinia's wilder stretches of coastline, with the dunes at Piscinas and the beach at Torre dei Corsari, both within reach for a day out. The honest reality is that the listing doesn't say when the house was built, which makes it harder to judge the roof or the wiring without seeing it in person. Renovation costs here could run higher or lower, depending on what's actually behind the walls. That's not a reason to walk away, but it is a reason to ask the right questions before anything else. With courtyards front and back and a coastline like that nearby, what would it take for you to feel comfortable saying yes to the unknowns first? Not every property on this list is a finished house waiting for new walls. The next one asks a different question entirely, because what's actually for sale isn't quite what you'd expect. Teulada sits near the southern tip of Sardinia, in an area known as the Costa del Sud, where inland farmland quietly gives way to some of the island's most photographed beaches. The town itself has kept much of its 17th century character: narrow streets, courtyard houses, a rhythm built around agriculture more than tourism, even though the coast just a short drive away pulls in visitors every summer. Life here moves between vineyard rows and quiet mornings in the historic center, closer to the land than to the sea, even with the sea so close. What's for sale is $28,500 for a share of a larger rural property, 135 square meters across 2 floors, facing south on land where vines have already been planted. The number of bedrooms isn't specified in the listing, and neither is the year it was built, but there is one detail that stands out. A restoration and conservation project has already been approved for this property, which is not something you see often at this price, and it can save real time once renovation actually begins. Set against an average asking price around Teulada, closer to $1,600 per square meter. This comes in at roughly $211 per square meter, a considerable gap even once you account for the work still ahead. Everyday errands mean a short drive rather than a walk. A supermarket and pharmacy about 10 minutes into town, with the hospital and train connections in Carbonia, roughly 45 minutes further out, and Cagliari's airport around an hour away. But what really defines this location is the coast. Porto Tremazzo is less than 20 minutes from the door, and Tuareta, one of the most recognized beaches on the island, sits about 25 minutes away. For anyone drawn to vineyard land with real beach access nearby, this is about as close as the list gets. To be straightforward about it, this is the property on the list that asks the most patience. It's only part of a larger rural estate, with the remaining portion sold separately, so anyone considering it needs real clarity on where the boundaries sit and whether the land has been properly divided on paper. Add the usual questions a rural structure raises: the roof, the electrical setup, where the water actually comes from, and this becomes less of a simple purchase and more of a project that rewards patience. The approved paperwork helps. It doesn't remove the homework. Is a head start on approvals enough to offset land you'd still need to untangle yourself? By now you've seen full houses and a share of raw land with vineyard rows attached. Which one actually holds more value over time, finished walls or the ground itself, is worth carrying with you into what comes next. Sant'Antioco is an island town in the southwest of Sardinia, connected to the mainland by a narrow causeway, so getting there feels like crossing into somewhere slightly apart from the rest of the island. The town carries layers of history you can still walk through: Phoenician and Roman ruins, an old basilica with catacombs beneath it, and a coastline dotted with quiet beaches that don't get overrun, even in summer. Life on an island town like this tends to slow down naturally, shaped by the sea on nearly every side. What's listed here is $18,240, and it's worth being upfront about what that actually buys. This isn't a finished house. It's 3,000 square meters of agricultural land, with a small existing structure of 20 square meters on it, built in 1967, with a fireplace, a private garden area, and outdoor parking, but no bathroom and no heating system in place. There's also a cluster of oak trees on the land, which adds a certain character to the setting. The listing is also clear that no additional building is permitted here, so this isn't a blank canvas for a new home. It's an existing structure and a meaningful stretch of land, and the two need to be evaluated separately rather than folded into one number. Getting around does require a car. The town center, with its shops, pharmacies, and services, is a short drive away. The nearest hospital and train connections sit in Carbonia, about 20 minutes out, and Cagliari's airport is closer to an hour and a half by road. What the location does offer is genuine proximity to the sea. Beaches like Maladroxia and Cala Saponi are both within about 15 minutes, along with some of the more striking archaeological sites on the island. What actually matters here is treating this as land first and structure second. Whether electricity and water are already connected isn't confirmed, and given the restriction on new construction, anyone interested would need real clarity on what the existing building can legally become. For someone drawn to land ownership on a Sardinian island, 3,000 square meters at this price is a rare number. For someone expecting a move-in ready home, it very much is not. Which of those two people are you, really? 4 properties in, and each one has asked something different of you: patience, imagination, or a willingness to see land as the real asset. The last one on this list doesn't quite fit any of those patterns. It comes from a village that once tried giving houses away for €1. Romana is a small village tucked into the Milog area of northern Sardinia, somewhere between Sassari and Alghero, close enough to both that isolation is never really a concern here. The pace is unmistakably rural. The Temo River runs nearby, an old lake sits within a few minutes' drive, and karst caves and hilltop villages dot the surrounding countryside. A handful of years ago, the village even offered homes for a symbolic €1, hoping to bring life back into empty houses. This one isn't part of that program, but it carries a similar spirit, a village trying to stay alive through the people willing to take on its old buildings. The house itself is $22,800, a detached home of 169 square meters across 2 floors, with 4 bedrooms, a private garden, and an attic. Built in 1950, it comes with a clear and specific challenge. The roof and most of the windows need to be replaced, and there's currently no heating system installed. That's a bigger renovation question than some of the other properties on this list, but the scale of the house, 4 bedrooms and an attic, gives you real room to work with once the essentials are handled. At roughly $135 per square meter, well below the low end of asking prices tracked in Romana, the price reflects exactly how much work is ahead. Daily essentials, a pharmacy and postal service, sit within walking distance. Sassari and Alghero, both around 35 to 40 minutes by car, bring hospitals, an airport, and everyday city conveniences well within reach, closer than most villages this size can offer. And nature is part of the package too. The Temo River, a few minutes away, a lake not much further, and the colorful town of Bosa along with the Alghero coastline, roughly 40 minutes out for a proper day by the water. The honest reality is that this house needs the most work of anything on this list. A full roof replacement and new windows aren't small projects, and with the village keeping so few properties on the market, there's little to compare this listing against. But it also sits closer to real infrastructure than almost anywhere else we've looked at today. Hospitals, an airport, a proper city, all within 40 minutes. Is proximity to that kind of infrastructure worth taking on the biggest renovation on the list? We've just walked through 5 properties, all in Sardinia, all starting from a number under $30,000. But the feeling each one leaves behind is completely different. A river village with 6 bedrooms and a garden, a coastal town with courtyards front and back, a share of vineyard land with an approved restoration already in hand, an island of history where you're really buying ground, not walls, and a village trying to breathe life back into its oldest houses, one roof at a time. What this really comes down to isn't a question of which property is cheapest, because on paper, they mostly are. It's a question of what kind of life you're actually trying to build. Some of these homes ask for imagination and patience. Others ask for a clear head about paperwork and land boundaries. None of them ask for a fortune. And that's really the point. Owning something here isn't about proving anything to anyone. It's about the possibility of a slower, steadier way of living, without a mortgage hanging over every decision you make. We know numbers like these can be hard to fully believe at first. But they're real, and they make sense once you understand the local market, villages with shrinking populations, homes that have sat empty for years, and a pace of life that was never built around real estate speculation in the first place. What actually matters here is understanding that the listed price is only the starting point. Notary fees, registration taxes, and whatever renovation work is needed will add to that number, sometimes significantly. None of the figures we've shared today replace an actual on-site inspection, and that step really isn't optional if you're serious about any of these. To be straightforward about it, none of these houses are perfect. Some need a new roof, some need clarity on legal boundaries, some need imagination more than money, but the value in each of them isn't about getting something flawless. It's about the chance to build something that lasts without the financial weight so many of us carry for decades just to have a place to call home. So here's a genuine question worth sitting with. Out of these 5, which one would you actually choose to live in? Not just admire from a video, but really live in. If you'd like, leave a comment and tell us. We read every one of them, and we're always curious which properties resonate the most and why. If you found this journey through Sardinia worth your time, consider subscribing. It genuinely helps us keep finding places like this and bringing them to you. We have no ties to any agency and no commission on any of these listings, just an honest look at what's out there. Thank you for spending this time with us today.